Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dallas Cowboys coverage. We are finally back, and so are the Cowboys. They have their very first training camp practice just really in a few hours now. Just wanted to break down some of the main things going on, the big stories, and the small ones as well, leading up into training camp. Thanks for being here, and let's get right into it. So, the number one thing is probably got to be Zack Martin. As you've heard, he is officially holding out from training camp in search of a new deal. So Zack Martin, if you didn't know, he does have 2 years left on his original contract. It was signed quite a few years ago now. It was a 6-year contract. Um, Pretty good value at the time. I believe it was 84 million in total value. But now at this point, he's lagging quite a bit behind some of the other top cards. Chris Lindstrom making 20 million a year. Zack Martin's still just around that 14 number. So quite a bit behind. And as he's getting older in age, I believe he's 32 now. He wants to get paid again before his play starts to decline as he gets older. So, makes sense from his standpoint, wanting to cash in once again before, you know, there's any sign of his play slipping, anything like that, which it clearly, it really has not. This year, I would say, was not quite as dominant as maybe past years, but again, that's to Zack Martin standards. He was still a first team All Pro, Pro Bowler, and even earned finally, after it's been deserved for quite a while now, a 99 overall in Madden, if you guys care about that. So, but either way, Zack Martin, this is a pretty big loss. Zack Martin, I wouldn't have normally pegged as a holdout type of guy, as this story just kind of came out of nowhere. I had no idea he was unhappy with his contract, but looking at it, you got to understand from his standpoint and his camp and his agents wanting to get paid again before, he continues to get older in age, because what's he going to be, 34 when this contract expires? Maybe at that point it's like, do we really want to give him a huge new contract? But now, 32, he's still dominant. He wants to cash in now, so makes sense. And I just hope they can get that resolved before, we get too deep into this, whether it's most likely going to be an extension. Maybe they'll add on a little bit of money. We'll see. I do hope it gets resolved sooner rather than later, as this is obviously maybe the best player on your team, at least probably offensively, captain of your team, proven, you know, Hall of Fame player, obviously a captain and veteran player on your team. Don't want to be missing those type of guys at the beginning of camp. Obviously, doesn't really need the reps per se, but I think it's just more of from a team standpoint, want to have that guy out there. So hopefully that can be resolved. Jerry Jones and the state of the Cowboys presser did not comment on it. However, definitely a thing. So as Zack Martin officially did not report to training camp yesterday. So that's kind of the bad news. The good news on the other side is Trevon Diggs did report, of course, and got his contract extension, 5 years, 97 million. Total value, I think, is like 103 with incentives. So really happy to see that. I'm glad that the Cowboys are being, at least on this side of things, on the defensive side, proactive in their contracts. Trevon Diggs, he's proven, he had obviously the incredible 11 interception year 2 years ago now. Last year, not quite as good with interceptions, but I would say much better in coverage, so it kind of balanced out. He's is a star now in this league. Obviously, still only I think 24 years old. A lot of room to still grow and improve, which is absolutely incredible. Glad you locked him in now, and he's only tied for now the fifth highest paid cornerback, so not a bad contract at all from that standpoint. So as far as contracts go, I'm glad they got that one done. Obviously, the Cowboys are not exactly known for being proactive on these contracts. A lot of them have dragged out to the last minute. We've seen franchise tags. Glad we don't have to worry about that with Diggs. Lock it in and, check that off. So obviously there are still more contracts to figure out. I talked about Zack Martin. CeeDee Lamb's probably going to be the next one. He does have his 5th-year option, though, so his contract is not expiring after this season. To be clear on that one, Trevon Diggs was. So makes sense to get his done first. Dak Prescott probably going to be looking for an extension pretty soon. And then a little bit after that, Micah Parsons as well. So a lot to take care of. You could even throw Terrence Steele in there, as he's still on that, undrafted free agent rookie contract. He's going to be looking for a payday for sure. So just, a lot of little things to figure out. And then, of course, you have more expiring contracts with Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, that'll be, obviously a little bit in the future problem, but, not too far, obviously. We're trying to focus on this season, but a lot to figure out going into next offseason. It's good to start getting these contracts out of the way now. Hopefully they can continue with that, but obviously Diggs, a great first step there. So, contractually, those are the main stories there. Obviously, training camp, they will get their practice underway. But one more little roster note, they did get up to the 90-man roster with the signing of Josh Butler yesterday. If you haven't heard of his name, I don't blame you. I hadn't either before these last few days. So Josh Butler was a cornerback from the USFL Panthers, I believe. So he, obviously don't know a lot about him. Got to see the stats yesterday. Okay, not great. Nothing's gonna, obviously not a household name or anything, but just another training camp body. Jordan Lewis will be starting on the PUP list as he recovers from foot surgery. So just another body to have in there. Obviously highly unlikely he makes the roster. Maybe the practice squad. We'll see. But just to let you know, that does bring the Cowboys up to the full 90-man roster. So they're set. So in addition to that, I said Jordan Lewis did start this offseason, or this training camp on the PUP list. I don't think it's, anything to worry about. He's a veteran. He doesn't need the reps so much. But obviously just looking for him to get healthy. Really excited to see how he can continue to progress. And on the other side of that, maybe I'd say a little bit more concerning is Luke Schoonmaker, your second-round rookie tight end, also starting the offseason, or the training camp on the PUP list. It's just, I wasn't really in love with the Schoonmaker pick. Really liked Mozzie Smith in the first round, to beef up that interior defensive line. Schoonmaker, however, in the second round just felt a little bit forced to me. It just seemed like a reach. I think Mike McCarthy really wanted his tight end with Dalton Schultz departing. But to me, it's just, I don't love the pick. Obviously, haven't seen him play yet, so, can't be too upset. But I think Jake Ferguson is still your clear number one tight end heading into training camp and the preseason. Jake Ferguson, I think, showed some real flashes last year. A lot of potential there. Peyton Hendershot, same thing. He'll be more of the second, third tight end. But Schoonmaker, obviously still has potential. I think he is going to be probably your number two tight end going into the season if and when he can get healthy. Obviously, he was dealing with some plantar fasciitis, just not really what you like to see. He's been dealing with this since OTAs, and initially it was, said as not a major issue, but the fact that, over a month later at training camp, he's starting on the PUP list, got to raise a little more concerns. Just got to hope he's ready for the preseason, show the team what he's got. So those are really the main notes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add, but obviously as we dive into training camp, there'll be more to talk about. But for now, those are the main things. Thanks for watching, and, just really happy to be back. Just wanted to let you know that if there is any more news, smaller news, I will start doing some shorts on YouTube, obviously. I usually do longer videos, but now it's really quick things, tidbits, and I'll just probably do some shorts to update you guys on, the training camp happening. So just really excited to be back. Obviously it's been a long off season, and I'm just really excited to be here again with you guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me, and I will see you guys very soon. Go Cowboys.